Welcome to Backyard Dwelling Tiny Homes. We match tiny home buyers to tiny home builders. In the next few moments, I'll clear up all the confusion about ADUs, additional dwelling units, and garden suites. Plus, I'll teach you the next steps on choosing the right tiny home for your backyard. ADU benefits. Annual income. 2,000 to 3,000 monthly rent before expenses. It's a place to retire, keep and rent in your main home for income, equity, and appreciation. A place for extended family, siblings are moving back home. A widowed parent maintain autonomy without loneliness by living close. A divorced parent can cohabitate, not rushing to have to sell that property. Now, what is an ADU? Well, there are two categories of ADUs. There's detached and attached. Detached is separate from the main house, where we have to extend the water, the power, and the sewer lines all the way to the back additional dwelling unit. Attached just means inside the property or attached to it, which shares the utilities. Today we're going to focus on number one, position of the ADU. Now, generally, you could have up to 2 or 3 additional dwelling units on your property, depending on if you're within the city. In this scenario, the ADU is at the rear of the property, about 15 feet away if you're a 1 story and 25 feet away if you're 2 stories. The ideal lot size is plus 30 feet wide and plus 110 to 120 feet long. When it comes to types of ADU, there's a factory-built wood frame 1 bedroom. The smallest is generally 360 square feet. It has a bedroom, it has a living room, it has a kitchen and a washroom. And we can put a sofa where this table is right here. A 2 bedroom version will be a little bit larger. As you can see, a bedroom on the left side and the right-hand side. And of course, you can have 2 washrooms, or you may want to change the scenario of your bedrooms, maybe 2 of them together with 1 washroom and have more living space. The next one is a factory-built sea container. It's made out of a steel frame, 1 bedroom, the same 360 square feet. We have a bedroom, a washroom, a kitchen, and a living room displayed in the pictures that I'm circling. This can come in larger sizes as well. The next type is the on-site built. Could be wood or it could be built from metal frame. This is a 2 story look, but if it were a 1 bedroom, 360 square feet, it would also be about $260,000, which is $100,000 higher than the first one. There is a huge misconception of what a tiny home is. People think they're sheds or even barns. In fact, I've seen that most tiny homes are actually at a higher caliber than the property that they sit behind. You can have full-size bathrooms, even tubs, as well as double mirrors and double sinks. Possible to have 2 levels and even a basement if you so choose. They generally rent for around $2,750 a month or around $32,000 a year annual revenue. It's quite reasonable to consider a 25% annual expense, and that's related to financing, interest only on a HELOC. Your property taxes may go up 1%. So if it's $7,000, now we're looking at $770. Your insurance may go up 30%. So if it's $3,000, it could now be $3,900. Here's a warning. There's a freight train coming at our finances. An estimated $32,000 annual income generated by your backyard dwelling unit can save the day. We don't actually build tiny homes. We oversee the entire process. We have 2 companies that we attend to that actually build tiny homes in factories, and one that builds partially on site. The factory builds are amazing because the units come out 90% complete, and everything is built in a controlled climate with quality control at every single level. When the ADU is being built in the factory a few weeks before it's completed, the team comes out to the host property and builds a foundation. 95% of the time, it's a slab foundation off of a stem wall, meaning it's built down below the frost line. And in about 5% of the cases, we have people who actually want a basement. We do have to dig a trench from the main house going all the way to the tiny home to extend the sewer, which is a 4-inch diameter pipe, to extend the water line, which is about 1 inch, and also to bring back the electrical so that the tiny home has water, has sewer, and electrical. Let's now talk about financing the ADU. Keep in mind that all rates are subject to change. First, we'll have a look at CMHC MLI Select. Now, this is a government-backed program that helps you with loans from the bank. You get 95% financing, you get a 50-year amortization option, which means the payment itself is smaller, and you can use the rental income generated by the ADU to help you qualify for the mortgage. The next are the big five banks where you can get a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit. Now, they lend up to 65% loan to value on your property. It's interest only payments, so your payments are smaller. You're not paying down principal, and you draw the money as the build progresses. Third, we can go to alternative lenders such as Home Trust or Equitable. Generally, they look at lower credit scores, self-employed income, and the loan to value ratio is around 85%. Great news, we have third-party lenders who can also help you. Let me take a moment to go through the 7-step process so that you get a better understanding of the timeline. It's generally 3 to 4 months from start, but I start off with a consultation. When I meet the client, I sit with them, we determine what their needs are. I do a feasibility study. It's a 21-point and then an 81-point report on if the property qualifies. And that's within the same week. Then we take about 3 to 5 days to design and put a quote together so the homeowner has an understanding of exactly what it costs from start to finish. Next is the permit and approvals process. I'm able to do this within 15 days, but 30 days is norm and 45 days if we run into problems. The builders can also provide this service. Within that 2-month period of time, the site preparation starts where we put in the foundation and we extend the utilities from the front of the house all the way to the ADU in the back. Once the foundation and the utilities are brought to the back and the unit is complete, it is then transported to the home and lifted via crane into the backyard. It takes about 2 or 3 days to button up everything so that the property can get its occupancy certificate. And the final inspection is a walkthrough and also an approval from the city that this is now a place for someone to live. So we invite you to take the next step with us. Just give us a call at 289-440-2335 or go to our website and fill in the quick form, and we will definitely call you and have a conversation.